Hey guys, it's Daniel. Welcome back.
Nirvana was a band, but it was Kurt's band. The following is from biographer Michael Azerrad, Kurt Cobain's official biographer, where he reflects on an experience he had that really solidified to him how much Kurt controlled the band. This took place in the fall of 1993 during one of the In Utero tour rehearsals. Kurt invited Michael to be present at one of their rehearsals in Seattle, and it was here that Michael Azerrad saw firsthand how much Kurt really was in charge of the band. This is from the article Michael Azerrad wrote for The New Yorker, which was published in September of 2021. Quote, "In October of 1993, I visited Kurt in Seattle while the band was rehearsing for the In Utero tour, and one night he invited me to a practice. He claimed it would be boring, but then again, he said everything about his life was boring, which it wasn't, of course. The band's practice space was in a loft building in the Sodo neighborhood, a grim industrial area south of downtown Seattle. The long concrete-floored hallway leading to their room was lined on one side with cremation urns, which were manufactured in another area on the floor. It was late when we arrived, and the entire building was silent. At that point, Nirvana was perhaps the biggest band in the world, but you'd never know it from their rehearsal space. The room was about 600 square feet, with windows that looked out onto other industrial loft buildings. A small riser for the drum set was as fancy as they got. There was a modest PA, some ordinary-looking amps, and a couple of standard-issue microphones. They had no soundproofing, no sound person, no special lights, no recording equipment, no well-stocked bar. A few mismatched old chairs were strewn around the room. Some concert posters hung on the wall, and there was a small fridge. It could almost have been your band's practice space. They fussed with the PA a little, and then they were off, running down songs from In Utero. Kurt ran the rehearsal, giving specific directions to each of the musicians. They played sections of songs, starting and stopping until Kurt felt that things were right. I suppose this is what Kurt thought was the boring part, but it was illuminating to see how much he controlled things, how exacting he was with music that appeared so rough. It was difficult to hear some of the flaws Kurt wanted to correct, but when the band fixed them, it was obvious that everything had snapped into place." End quote. Now, I want to show you guys one of the practice locations Nirvana had in downtown Seattle. I don't think this is the same one that Michael is referring to, but nevertheless, this is one of the locations where Nirvana practiced in downtown Seattle. If you want to see my full video where I go over some of the most important locations in Nirvana's story, the link is available in the description box below. All the videos on my channel are original. If you want to support, the best way to do so is to subscribe, like, and share. This is one of Nirvana's old practice spaces. This is the Screwdriver Bar in the Belltown neighborhood of Seattle. Prior to this being a bar, however, at various points in time between the releases of Bleach and Nevermind, the basement of this space served as a practice location for Nirvana. Today, it's a bar which occasionally hosts live acts. The bar pays tribute to its rock and roll history by decorating the walls with images of rock stars, including Kurt Cobain. They even have a Kiss pinball machine. It's been noted by many that Kurt Cobain, especially in the early days of the band, took practices very seriously. As mentioned, this particular former Nirvana practice space is in Belltown and is only a few minutes walking distance from the Crocodile, which is also located in Belltown.